Hey, what's up, guys? So a few days ago, I posted a video of an unboxing I did on an Epiphone inspired by Gibson Hummingbird. I was aware that it could possibly be made in China or Indonesia because they have, I think the last 2 months they started making them all in China. And I think they even do the J45 now as well. I'm not sure about the other models, like the 200 and the Frontier and all those, all the inspired by Gibson line, which is an awesome line if it's Indonesian made. So I was really disheartened when I opened mine a few days ago and the back said handcrafted on China, or handcrafted by China. And I was thinking, it's not worth it. It's not worth the $800 or $850 if it's made in China. It seemed like the saddle, the nut was like a man-made, like a fake bone, and it seemed like it just was cheap feeling all over. The bridge pins were all like up and down, like popped out. It just wasn't like, you could tell it was like just factory made. Nobody had their hands on it, you know. Now I called and they said, yeah, send it back. They said it's a crapshoot. We don't know what's in the box because they're pre-packaged. They're pre-boxed when we get them. I got it through Zounds. I know if you order one from like Sweetwater or somewhere like that, you can actually see the guitar you're going to get and they can tell you everything about it. But through Zounds, it's pre-packaged in a factory or like a warehouse. You know, they're just ready to ship out to you. But they was cool. They sent me a label, return label for free, whatever. They paid for it. I sent it back. As soon as it hit the UPS hub, when I dropped it off, they instantly sent me a new one. Well, I got lucky and it is Indonesian made. And I promise you, it is way better. The quality, I mean, it's real bone saddle, nut, everything is great. It's perfectly set up out of the box. I didn't really have to do anything to it. So I'm very happy. And I'll get to the guitar in a second, but I just want to warn you guys, man, make sure you're getting the Indonesian made because the China is nowhere near as good. It's not the same guitar. The finish was a lot more dull. Like I said, just everything was different. But anyway, I'm going to show you the guitar now and play through some sounds on it and let you guys see what you think. Well, here it is. I'll first say that since I've gotten it a couple days ago, I've done a few different things to it. Nothing, well, one major thing, the other's not. So it had like this semi-gloss satin finish on the front. The sides and the back were kind of semi-gloss. I didn't even do anything to them, but as far as the top, I used some buffing compound and one of those little wheels, one of those little buffing pads on a drill, and I got it looking pretty good. I kind of like that shine. It's not anything thick. It's just it's poly, but it's really thin. It doesn't rob the sound or nothing. Definitely a bone nut and saddle. And as far as the other guitar and this one, I think that they're both Indian Laurel bridge and fingerboard, but I put a little oil on there on both of them and they darkened up pretty good. I changed the strings. These are D'Addario 11. They're 11s. They're the phosphor bronze. And I don't know. They're 80-20. The phosphor bronze 80-20. I like a more bright sound. I mean, I just started kind of playing acoustic. And I'm no great player by any means. But I love tone. I like a more brighter sound. I play a lot of electric. I play a lot of 80s like hair metal music, so I love tone and that bright sound. But surprisingly, I like this. It's real balanced, and it's awesome. I mean, it's a really balanced guitar. But the main upgrade that I've done so far is I was on the Stu Mac on their channel, and I saw where they were talking about angle of the strings, and so I cut out those little string slots, as you can see. So I took one of those little saws and cut those out. And I know it's kind of weird to cut into a new guitar, but you can see where I cut them. And look at that break angle now. I mean, it's like right up against the saddle. I mean, right at the edge of the bridge into the saddle. I mean, you wouldn't believe what this does for your sound. I mean, it's tremendous. Get on Stu Mack and watch their Luther do it. And this difference, he has a good before and after. And I mean, you can really feel it in your chest when you're playing. It's got that good depth, plus like brought out the highs, mids, everything. It just made it like turn the whole guitar up if it had its own volume. Anyway, it has the Fishman electronics internally, and I don't even have a battery in it. I've never tried to plug them in yet. Probably never will. But yeah, I mean, I got one of those little saws, little bitty, looks like a little file, but it's a saw from Stu Mack, and definitely just, like I said, it's weird cutting into a new guitar, but you'll do a good job on it and it'll come out good. And I get that good 45-degree angle, gives you a lot more sound. Anyway, I'll stop rambling on. One more thing I will say is that, you can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but definitely made in Indonesia. It's got the Epiphone deluxe tuners and trying to look like the Gibson ones or whatever, but they do a good job. They're holding tune really well. I'm not displeased with them. I think the pick guard's awesome, but it's a little thick. That might take a little sound, a little bit of tone, maybe, maybe not. It's a big pick guard, but it's really nice looking. Like I said, after buffing it up, it's a pretty guitar, man. Definitely worth $850. Probably more. But not no great player, but I'll just strum through some chords so you can really hear it. I'm going to start with a medium pick, and then I'll switch to a thin pick. Man, I'm telling you, before I cut that bridge, it didn't sound like that. It sounded great. I mean, I didn't have to do nothing. Out of the box, tuned it up, perfectly set up. No fret buzz, low action. But cutting those string slots in that bridge, putting that break angle right up against that saddle, you wouldn't believe it. Definitely try it. Like I said, I'm no acoustic specialist, nothing like that. Only thing I do is pick around on some old Keith Whitley or Mark Chestnut songs or something like that. I like to just strum along and stuff, but I love to know I have a good tone and a good sound, especially for strumming. But you can hear it even up here. There's a no buzz. Even when you do like a little slide. Even when you slide them little notes and stuff, it sounds great. Anyway, here's a more thin pick. You get more of that brighter sound. Picks, by the way, definitely make your sound a little different. I know a lot of you guys probably already know that, but I feel like on a lot of those country song stuff or whatever, when they're just kind of playing the rhythm part and overdubbing the song, they're using a real thin pick or something, so you can just hear that sound, Like I said, man, it's just got a really good resonance. I mean, good tone. You can feel it in your chest. Great guitar. Indonesian made, not China made. Just a great sound for the money. I mean, $8.50, whatever I paid for it, great. You can just hear it, just awesome guitar. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Like I said, I polished the top, oiled up the Indian Laurel bridge fretboard. Definitely the big improvement was cutting those slots. I mean, that's huge. Like I said, there's a video, the luthier, he has 2 videos on the Stu Mac channel. Those guys are awesome. Get you one of those little saws on there. Order one, it's like $22, $24. Well worth it, I promise. You might even get away with using a little jigsaw blade or something. Just take your time, do a good job on it. I mean, and I turn the bridge pins around. You really want to do it using unslotted bridge pins, but I just turned mine around. The slotted part's facing this way now. I'm using the unslotted part facing this way. I might put one of those Mitchell's plate mates on here in the future because I like a brighter sound, and plus it'll really protect that bridge. Anyway, that's what I've got. I mean, you know, the neck, I will say the neck, it's more of like a satin finish, like a semi-gloss, but it don't bind you up. I mean, you can get up and down it pretty good without sticking and grabbing, sweating. It's more of a C shape. It's not quite like my Les Paul. I believe it was the 50s model had the fat neck, and that's what mine has on my Les Paul. But this is more be like the 60s, more of the C shape. It's still pretty thick for a, you know, for an acoustic, but this thing's got some weight too. I mean, it's got some weight. I think the shipping weight was 9.75 pounds. But it's definitely, it's well built. And I noticed on the China model, on the side bracing, like up inside here, there was no, on the side wood, there was no bracing. But on this Indonesian model, there's all kinds of little bracing in there. Somebody put their hands on this guitar. Somebody, it was made in the factory, yes, and mass produced, but somebody has put their hands on this guitar, on all the Indonesian made, and they're just different. So get yourself one, try it out. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching.